We had a cold streak where it was like 50s and 60s
Yep.
in August.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yep.
We got frost by the house.
And then it got weird because so I had these pictures, and then I didn't get any bucks on it. Got some does, and then Friday morning, got a real nice wide 10-pointer with a couple stickers. He's 12 points, probably a beautiful 3-year-old. He's in there at 7 in the morning, walking by the camera, feeding, goes into the one bedding area at 11. He walks by again, goes to the other bedding area, and I'm like, oh man, he's in there. Like, I know I could sneak in there and try to get him the night, but that was anniversary dinner. So we
do that.
But in the morning, I was like, I need to get in there because like this is what I've been waiting for, to know that the bucks
and
are
you kind of know where
there.
they're coming from. You have some theories about that.
I had theories.
You could slip in.
I had
in a
theories
way that wouldn't bump them out of.
Yep. So the wind was forecasted out of the northwest that morning. I came in from the east side, and I had to cross some nasty slough, little water stuff that I would have guessed would have been super dry. So like I bought contractor bags. I couldn't find any of my waders. I think I threw them out because they had holes. So I bought some big contractor bags, 3mm. I read that, hey guys, use these, pack them in your pack, cross the creek. So I'm going to cross the creek with these, and it's going to be no problem.
That was so funny.
Well, I made it like 20 yards into like the grass, and all of a sudden there's like 3 inches of water, which I was wearing hiker boots because I thought it was going to be dry till I get to this frickin' waterway. So I'm like, well, frick, like there's no point in bringing these stupid bags if like I have wet feet when I get to the creek. So I put the bags on, and I'm trying to carry my
balls are different things though.
Yes, but I was like, oh, I got to keep my boots dry. So like I tried tying the bags around my legs, and like I'm walking through frickin' fragmites with these bags dragging. I'm like, this is so dumb.
Really fucked.
I'm already like, okayest moment. Like I literally am like, wow, what an okayest hunter. I'm like, wow, I'm so dumb. And I'm walking through this, and in the dark, you can't see anything. This shit's like way over my head, right? Everything is, but this was really over my head. And I'm like looking at the map, and I'm trying not to get too close. Finally, I get to the creek. I pull the bags up. I look at them. I'm like, these things have holes all over already. I got to go fast. So I start going, and I just start, water's coming in, and I'm like, it's not hard bottom because it's a slough. So it's all silty. So like I stumble, dunk my whole bow in, don't tip over, but both bags just fill with water. I tip over up to my belt. So I'm entirely soaked from the waist down, just not a dry spot on me. I make it to the other side, busting through the cattails.
And it's all loud too when you're going through this.
Oh, it's so loud. It's so loud. There's a tiny bit of breeze, but not much. And I get to the other side, and I'm like, it's 32 degrees. It's frost. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm going to walk back across that and go home at 4 in the morning? Hell no. I'm going hunting. I was like, I'll sit as long as I can, but I'm going to go hunting. So I got back on the map. I made a loop through what I would consider really open grass. And then like most of the thick stuff was to the west of me. So the point was just stay as far away from that as possible, because I imagine they were feeding, browsing, lingering in that till they come into the bedroom. So I went through the stuff that's like very monotonous, not variety of vegetation, all kind of the same shit.
But you're at that point, you're in like an open area. So
wide open.
In any sort of daylight circumstance, there's no chance you're navigating through that or traversing through, because you'd be picked out from a mile. Like you said, it's monotonous.
You could get through there potentially, if they were in the thick stuff and couldn't see. But there's a pretty good chance they could have a visual. So I make my loop, and I come in straight. The wind ends up being more out of the west than forecasted. So I like walk in with the wind in my nose, and I've seen trees there before. So I had an idea where there was a couple trees, and I get there. I pick one that I think is going to work in the dark, and
which is hard to do in the morning.
It's a popple tree.
I don't like morning hunting.
Yeah, it's a popple tree. So like
40 feet up.
There's buckthorn.
Like
there's buckthorn up to like 12, 14 feet. And then it's a big tree. And then all of a sudden there's branches up at like 30 feet. I'm like, well, I can hang with the buckthorn cover and not be able to shoot over the buckthorn that's in front of it. Or I can go up to the branches, use the branches as cover, and then shoot over the buckthorn. I'm like, what? Why would I come back here if I can't freaking shoot? I need to shoot. I knew I needed to be able to shoot to where my camera was.
These are hard decisions for a lot of other hunters to like think through. Me being other hunters, I'm like, what do you do in this scenario?
Yeah, so I went as high as possible. I brought 5 sticks with 6 aiders. I only used.
What do you mean 6 aiders on 5 sticks?
So my bottom stick has a double aider, 2 aiders built in.
Oh,
so I can hang the first one above my head, and then I'm up, and I'm stretching these suckers out. So like I'm pulling my leg up to get into the aider. So I'm up there pretty high, hang the platform, jump in the saddle. I'm right up with the branches, so I feel like I'm blending in. And I'm also like, deer aren't probably looking up in the trees as long as
I'm
I'm
not looking
still.
past buckthorn.
I wore the frickin' leafy suit because it's all, aspen leaves. I wore the leafy suit. I got all settled in. I'm frickin' dripping water. I can hear the water dripping on the leaves before. I'm like, this is really stupid. And I got settled in. I failed to do any camera work because I was so pissed from being wet. Like, I just put the camera on my bow and I just called it a day. And gets light. 10 minutes after light, all of a sudden I can hear something coming through the fragmites right into the little bedding pocket. And I'm getting pretty excited. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And deer coming, bow in hand. I'm like tucked up against the tree. I got the tree here, and all of a sudden I can hear antlers hitting branches. And I'm like, whew, game on. And the deer comes into this little pocket, and I can see the body. Showed you the video a little bit. And he starts rubbing. And I can just see the body, glimpses of antler, and I'm like, whatever that deer is, I'm shooting that deer. Like, that looks like a
Yeah,
big,
you don't need
that looks like
validation
a
on
big deer.
that.
Whatever that is, if it steps out, I'm shooting. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, please don't bed down there, because he's like right where there's a bed usually.
You're gonna be stuck holding.
And I was like, if that deer beds there, I have no shot. I'm wet. How long am I gonna have to sit here for that deer to stand up? Like, am I gonna freaking get hypothermia? Like, am I gonna be able to make it?
Yeah.
it had to be
and,
a pretty hot day, so I think you would have been all right.
I would have been. Well, yeah, it was a cold morning for a long time. But he makes the rub, and all of a sudden it's like crunch time. He stops rubbing, and he starts just looking around. I'm like, God, please come out. Please come out. And all of a sudden he just turns, and I'm like, freaking game on. So like I grab my bow, like I have my pin set. He's like 40, but I have my pin set to 24 because that's the only opening I have is if he comes on that trail that goes to my bedding area. And he comes behind this popple tree. I draw my bow back. He takes like 2 more steps, and then he does what we talk about, what big deer do. He just stops and stands. He's in this little open, and that's lip curled a little bit, smelled the air, looked around. He's just making sure it was safe before he came into this other bedding area.
But it wasn't safe.
No,
He
not
did
at
not.
all.
He did not know that, but
You duped
he
him.
stopped
Yeah.
and stood there for a while.
So you didn't have to.
And you're drawn back.
you
I
didn't
was
have
full
to-
draw, and so I'm looking at him, outside my peep sight, just watching him. Like, come on, 3 more steps, 3 more steps, and all of a sudden he sure shit.
You
He
didn't have
just
to mat or anything.
lowers his head.
You
I
really-
did.
Did you from that height?
But he lowers his head.
What did he
and
do?
He
He's
takes
probably
like,
like, what in the
he-
world?
There, a crow?
he takes 3 steps, and he's quartering to me pretty hard. But I knew it was the only shot. He takes 1 more step. He's in the willows. I don't have a shot at him. So I knew it was now or there. I had already prepared. I'm going to put it right on the front shoulder and squeeze. And I give him a, and he just stops. And I see the light.
Did he look? And you're like, because when I made that sound, I start freaking the fuck out.
Oh, I did it, dude. I already in my head. I'm talking to myself in my head.
Yeah.
I was like, make it so quiet. He just surveyed everything, so he thinks it's clear. He hears one noise, that deer's going to stop.
Yep.
So in my head, it was like, be as quiet as possible. So I was like, burp. And he just, almost like he was like, what the? And then he had no time to think.
I didn't
like
know
up or
someone's
down.
in my living room.
Yeah. So I put it on the shoulder. I shot. First instinct was that that's going right into him. It's good. Arrow's like sticking out 8 inches. He wheels right back where he came from. He runs out this little line of willows. I'm watching him. All of a sudden, he gets to the point of the willows and he stops. And I'm like, okay, now I learned, like, does he go down or is he like one lung? He's going to go. He stopped for like half a second and took off. And then I lost him behind a big tree, like bushes. I couldn't see, but I was like, half second, that's good. Like, if he wasn't hurt, he would have surveyed the scene longer. So he's got to be hurt. So then I frickin' losing my shit. I'm like, I have no idea what he was, but he looked nice. He ran off.